In February 2022, the world witnessed the beginning of one of the most significant military conflicts of the 21st century, the Russian invasion of Ukraine. What started as a rapid assault soon turned into a prolonged and devastating war, reshaping not only the region but also global politics, security, and the human experience of millions. The war began on February 24th, 2022, when Russian forces entered Ukraine from multiple directions north from Belarus, east from Russia, and south from Crimea. Russia stated that its goal was to demilitarize and denazify Ukraine, while Ukraine declared it a full-scale invasion and a violation of international law. The international community reacted with widespread condemnation and imposed severe economic sanctions on Russia. In the first few months, Russian troops captured several key cities, but Ukraine's resistance, backed by Western intelligence and weapons support, slowed the advance. By mid-2022, Ukrainian counteroffensives in the Kharkiv and Kherson regions pushed Russian forces back in some areas. Since 2023, the front lines have remained largely static, with heavy fighting concentrated around Donetsk, Luhansk, and the southern Zaporizhia region. According to the Institute for the Study of War and other independent analyses, both sides continue to exchange control of small territories, but no major breakthrough has occurred in recent months. Behind every headline, there are people, families, children, and communities. The United Nations reports that tens of thousands of civilians have been killed or injured since the start of the invasion, and more than 6 million Ukrainians have fled the country as refugees, while millions more remain displaced within Ukraine. Cities like Mariupol, Bakhmut, and Severodonetsk have been largely destroyed, leaving behind haunting images of urban ruins. Humanitarian organizations such as the UNHCR and the Red Cross continue to provide emergency aid, though access to some frontline regions remains extremely limited due to ongoing shelling and security risks. Multiple independent investigations, including those by the United Nations Human Rights Council, Amnesty International, and Human Rights Watch, have documented evidence of serious violations of international humanitarian law. These include deliberate attacks on civilian infrastructure, unlawful detentions, and the targeting of energy facilities during winter months. The UN Independent Commission of Inquiry on Ukraine stated that some Russian attacks may constitute war crimes and urged further investigations through international courts. Russia has repeatedly denied accusations of intentionally targeting civilians, claiming that all strikes were directed at military objectives. The International Criminal Court has opened investigations into specific incidents and issued arrest warrants against individuals alleged to be responsible for the deportation of Ukrainian children from occupied territories. On the other hand, the Ukrainian government has also faced scrutiny for its treatment of prisoners of war and the use of certain weapons in civilian areas, highlighting the complexity of modern warfare. Beyond the battlefield, the economic and social consequences of the war have been immense. Energy markets, food supply chains, and global inflation have all been affected. The destruction of infrastructure and farmland has created long-term challenges for Ukraine's recovery, while sanctions continue to shape Russia's economy and international trade. Meanwhile, international organizations are working to document and preserve evidence of war crimes to ensure accountability in the future. Media verification teams use satellite images, open-source videos, and eyewitness accounts to confirm events as they unfold, helping the world separate fact from misinformation. The war has also shown how quickly propaganda and false news can spread online, making fact-checking and credible journalism more important than ever. As of late 2025, the conflict shows little sign of ending soon. Peace talks have stalled multiple times, and both sides continue to prepare for further military operations through winter. International leaders emphasize the need for diplomacy, humanitarian aid, and accountability to prevent further loss of life. Behind the statistics are millions of people whose lives have been forever changed, families torn apart, homes destroyed, and futures uncertain. The Russia-Ukraine war is not just a geopolitical event. It is a human tragedy whose consequences will shape global politics and humanitarian efforts for decades to come. Whatever the outcome, history will judge not only the decisions made by governments but also how the world responded to the suffering of ordinary people. The best we can do as observers is to seek verified information, support humanitarian organizations, and remember that in every war, truth and compassion are the first casualties.